Have you ever wondered why we suffer so deeply when we lose something or someone we hold dear? Why does the heart cling so tightly to things that inevitably change, even though we know deep down that nothing in life lasts forever? These questions lie at the heart of Buddhist wisdom. The Buddha taught that attachment is one of the primary causes of human suffering. When we cling, we create expectations. When those expectations are not met, we feel pain, frustration, or grief. But what if there was another way? What if you could approach life with openness instead of clinging, with appreciation instead of fear, with love without the chains of possession? In this video, we will explore 5 steps to let go of attachments, guided by timeless Buddhist insights. These steps are not about giving up love, joy, or meaningful relationships. Instead, they help us free ourselves from the suffering that arises when we hold on too tightly. By the end of this journey, you will learn how to see your attachments clearly, how to transform your relationship with desire, and how to cultivate a deeper freedom in your everyday life. You'll discover practical tools and gentle reflections that you can carry into your relationships, work, and inner practice. If you find these teachings helpful, we invite you to subscribe to Mindfulness, where we share wisdom to support your path of inner peace. Let us now begin with the first step. Step 1. Recognize the nature of attachment. The first step in letting go is to recognize what attachment truly is. Many people confuse attachment with love, but in Buddhist thought they are very different. Love is spacious, open, and compassionate. Attachment, however, carries a sense of grasping, wanting something to stay exactly as it is, fearing its loss, or needing it to fulfill a sense of emptiness inside us. To see this clearly, imagine holding a handful of sand. If you hold it gently, the grains rest easily in your palm. But if you clutch it tightly, the sand slips through your fingers. Attachment works the same way. The tighter we hold on, the more restless and anxious we become. The Buddha described all conditioned things, everything we can touch, see, or even imagine, as impermanent. Nothing lasts forever. Not even our own emotions. The moment we forget this truth, attachment grows and suffering follows. A short story can help illustrate this. A monk once asked his teacher why he felt so much pain after losing a valuable bowl. The teacher replied, "When you accepted the bowl, did you not already accept that one day it would break?" The monk realized that his suffering came not from the bowl breaking, but from his refusal to accept its impermanence. To practice this step, begin by observing your own attachments. Notice what you fear losing. Is it a person, a possession, or even an idea about yourself? Simply naming these attachments without judgment can already create space. This awareness is powerful. It doesn't require you to abandon your relationships or possessions. Rather, it helps you shift from clinging to appreciating. When you see something as impermanent, you cherish it fully in the present moment without demanding it last forever. Recognizing attachment is like turning on a light in a dark room. Once you see it clearly, you can begin the gentle process of letting it go. Step 2. Cultivate mindful awareness of desire. Once we see what attachment is, the second step is to become mindful of the desires that fuel it. Desire itself is not inherently bad. The Buddha distinguished between skillful desires, like the wish to cultivate compassion or live ethically, and unskillful desires which seek constant pleasure, status, or control. The challenge arises when desire becomes endless, always chasing after something just beyond our reach. Think of the mind like a restless monkey jumping from branch to branch. One moment it craves praise, the next it clings to comfort, and the next it fears loss. Without mindfulness, we are pulled along helplessly by these shifting impulses. But with awareness, we can pause, breathe, and see desire for what it is, a passing state, not a permanent reality. Here's a story to reflect upon. A lay follower once told the Buddha that he could not find peace because he always wanted more wealth. The Buddha asked him, "If you had 2 rivers of gold, would you be satisfied?" The man admitted he would still want a third. The Buddha gently smiled and said, "A person with unskillful desire can never be satisfied, even if they had rivers flowing with gold." To cultivate mindful awareness, try this practice. When you notice desire arising, whether for food, recognition, or control, pause and observe. Where do you feel it in your body? What story does your mind tell about it? Rather than pushing it away or indulging it, simply watch. With practice, desire loses some of its power. You begin to realize that you are not your cravings. You are the awareness that notices them. This understanding allows you to choose wisely rather than react impulsively. When we cultivate this mindfulness, our relationship with desire softens. We see its impermanence and its inability to give lasting fulfillment. This insight naturally loosens the grip of attachment, bringing us one step closer to freedom. Step 3. Practice compassionate detachment. One of the most misunderstood ideas in Buddhist philosophy is detachment. Many people hear the word and imagine coldness, withdrawal, or indifference. But the Buddha never encouraged a life without feeling or connection. What he taught was compassionate detachment, a way of relating to others with love, without the suffering of clinging. Think of the sun. It shines freely on all beings, giving warmth and life, yet it asks nothing in return. Compassionate detachment is like that. It allows us to love deeply without turning love into possession. It is love without chains. Consider the story of a mother and child. A mother naturally loves her child, but if her love turns into overprotection, she may try to control every aspect of the child's life. In time, both mother and child suffer, the mother from anxiety and the child from feeling trapped. Compassionate detachment, however, means loving the child with care while also allowing space for growth, change, and independence. This is not less love, it is wiser love. In Buddhist practice, compassionate detachment is supported by meditation on metta, or loving kindness. When we send loving kindness to all beings, we recognize that each person is on their own path. We wish them happiness and freedom, but we do not cling to the idea that we can control their journey. This approach applies not only to people, but also to possessions and even experiences. We can enjoy a beautiful sunset fully, knowing it will fade. We can love a partner wholeheartedly without trying to freeze them in time. We can even hold gratitude for challenges because they, too, pass. From the perspective of mindfulness meditation, compassionate detachment strengthens resilience. When life changes, and it always does, we are less shaken because we have not bound our peace to conditions beyond our control. Here's a practical reflection. The next time you feel a strong attachment to someone or something, ask yourself, am I loving this person or object as they are, or am I clinging to how I want them to be? This simple question can reveal whether you are holding with open hands or with grasping fists. Compassionate detachment frees us to be present in relationships rather than anxious about their future. It allows us to offer love without demand, kindness without fear, and joy without chains. This is the third step on the path of letting go, and it is a gift both to yourself and to others. Step 4. Embrace impermanence in daily life. Among the core teachings of Buddhist wisdom, impermanence, anicca, shines as a profound truth that shapes every aspect of existence. To embrace impermanence is to see clearly that all things, whether joyful or painful, precious or ordinary, are in a state of constant change. Nothing remains fixed. Our bodies age, seasons shift, relationships transform, emotions rise and dissolve, and even mountains erode slowly over time. This understanding is not meant to cause despair, but rather to free us from clinging to illusions of permanence. At the heart of suffering is our resistance to change. We want life to hold still when we are happy, and we long to push away the moments of sorrow. Yet life moves like a river, flowing forward whether we hold on or resist. When we deny this flow, we suffer. When we align with it, we discover peace. There is a story of a wise king who once asked his advisors to craft a phrase that would always be true in times of joy and in times of sorrow. After much thought, they presented him with the words, "This too shall pass." The king carried this reminder with him always. When he faced loss, it gave him comfort, reminding him that pain is not eternal. When he enjoyed moments of triumph, it gave him humility, reminding him that success too is fleeting. In both joy and sorrow, he learned to rest in the truth of impermanence. This story holds a timeless lesson. Each of us faces loss, change, and endings. But when we meet impermanence with awareness instead of resistance, our hearts can open rather than close. Impermanence teaches us that clinging is futile, but appreciation is always possible. Mindfulness meditation is one of the clearest ways to observe impermanence directly. When we sit quietly and follow the breath, we notice its rhythm. Each inhale arises, pauses, and fades into an exhale. No breath stays, no sensation lasts. Even thoughts and emotions, whether joy, anger, or sorrow, shift and dissolve when observed patiently. This simple practice reveals that change is the very fabric of reality. Recognizing this truth in meditation helps us carry it into our daily lives. In relationships, awareness of impermanence can be especially transformative. When we forget that those we love are impermanent, we may cling tightly, fearing their loss, or we may take them for granted, assuming they will always be there. When we remember impermanence, however, every interaction becomes precious. We listen more deeply, forgive more quickly, and express gratitude more freely. Knowing that time is fleeting, we savor the present moment with those around us. Impermanence also reshapes how we view challenges. Painful experiences, loss, disappointment, or hardship can feel overwhelming when we believe they will last forever. Yet, when we recall impermanence, we remember that no storm endures endlessly. Just as seasons shift from winter to spring, our difficulties too will pass. This perspective does not erase suffering, but it gives us strength and resilience to endure it with patience. On the other hand, embracing impermanence reminds us not to cling to joy either. Moments of happiness are gifts, but they too are temporary. By appreciating them without attachment, we avoid the suffering that comes from trying to make them permanent. Imagine watching a sunset. If you demand that the sun remain at the horizon, you suffer as it sinks below. If you accept its impermanence, you can rest in awe of its beauty as it unfolds. A daily reflection practice can help us embody this wisdom. Each morning, pause and notice 3 signs of impermanence around you. Perhaps the light shifting through your window, the sound of a bird's call, or the sensation of your breath. By attuning to these small changes, you train your mind to live in harmony with the truth of impermanence. Generosity also reflects this teaching. When we give, whether time, resources, or kindness, we release the illusion that we can hold on to anything forever. Giving reminds us that life flows more freely when we let go. In Buddhist philosophy, impermanence is not a cause for fear, but a doorway to freedom. When we embrace change, we stop struggling against reality. We learn to live fully in the present moment, savoring what is here without demanding it remain. We learn to soften into losses, knowing they are part of the universal rhythm of life. Impermanence teaches us humility, compassion, and gratitude. It shows us that nothing belongs to us forever, and yet everything is a gift in its time. By embracing this truth, we loosen the grip of attachment, and in loosening, we find peace. To live with awareness of impermanence is to live with clarity. It is to see that every breath, every relationship, and every moment is fleeting and therefore infinitely precious. This is not a philosophy to be kept only in temples or meditation halls. It is a living practice woven into the fabric of daily life. By welcoming impermanence, we step closer to the heart of Buddhist wisdom and closer to the freedom of letting go. Step 5. Cultivate inner freedom through non-attachment. The final step in letting go of attachments is to cultivate inner freedom through the practice of non-attachment. Non-attachment, or vairagya, is often misunderstood. It does not mean indifference, withdrawal, or cold detachment. Instead, it is the art of living with openness, loving deeply while knowing that we do not own what we love, and engaging with life without being imprisoned by craving or fear. Think of carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones. Each stone represents an attachment, the desire for recognition, the fear of loss, the clinging to possessions, or even the fixed idea of who we are. The heavier the backpack, the harder it is to walk with ease. Non-attachment is the gentle process of setting those stones down, one by one, until we can walk freely. There is a famous story of 2 monks traveling together. As they came to a river, they found a woman struggling to cross. One monk lifted her and carried her across, then continued walking. Hours later, the other monk scolded him, saying it was improper to touch a woman. The first monk replied, "I put her down hours ago. Why are you still carrying her?" This story reminds us that non-attachment is not only about physical possessions, but also about the burdens of thought and memory. How can we cultivate this quality in daily life? The practice begins with awareness. Ask yourself, what am I clinging to right now? Is it an outcome, an object, or an identity? By naming attachments, you bring them into the light of mindfulness. From there, reflect on impermanence. Everything you cling to, your achievements, your possessions, even your body, will eventually change or dissolve. This reflection is not meant to cause despair, but to loosen the knots of grasping. Generosity is another powerful practice for non-attachment. When you give freely, whether it is time, resources, or kindness, you experience directly that joy does not come from possession, but from openness. Each act of giving softens the grip of the self and creates space for compassion. Meditation also plays a central role. In mindfulness meditation, you see that thoughts, sensations, and emotions come and go. You realize that you are not defined by them. You are the awareness that witnesses them. This spacious perspective helps you meet life without clinging to passing states. Importantly, non-attachment does not mean withdrawing from life. It means engaging more fully. When you are not bound by fear of loss or craving for gain, you can love more deeply, listen more carefully, and live more authentically. Non-attachment opens the door to equanimity, a balanced heart that is steady in both joy and sorrow. In the context of Buddhist wisdom, non-attachment is liberation itself. It cuts through the root of suffering by releasing the craving that binds us to endless cycles of dissatisfaction. It teaches us that freedom is not found in controlling life, but in flowing with it. Ultimately, cultivating non-attachment is cultivating freedom. It is walking lightly in the world, caring without clinging, loving without fear, and living without the chains of possession. Each step on this path brings us closer to the peace that the Buddha pointed to, a peace that is not dependent on conditions but arises from within. We have now journeyed through 5 steps to let go of attachments: recognizing attachment, observing desire with mindfulness, practicing compassionate detachment, embracing impermanence, and cultivating non-attachment. These teachings, rooted in Buddhist wisdom, are not abstract philosophy, but living practices for daily life. Letting go is not about denying love or rejecting joy. It is about seeing clearly, holding gently, and living in harmony with the truth of change. By releasing the tight grip of attachment, we discover a freedom that allows us to appreciate life as it is, without fear of loss or craving for permanence. As you carry these reflections into your life, may you find the courage to let go of what no longer serves you, the clarity to embrace impermanence, and the peace that comes from walking lightly in the world. In this letting go, there is not emptiness, but space for wisdom, compassion, and freedom.